Some legends are told, some turn to dust or to gold, but you will remember me.
Alright, what's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the channel. We have some more Call of Duty World War II, and I want to take a moment and applaud you guys, because if you guys play Call of Duty World War II on a day-to-day basis, you grind this game, you complete all the challenges, I want to sit here and applaud you, because it takes a lot to play this game on a day-to-day basis. It really does. You have to deal with the skill-based matchmaking. Every lobby you get in, they be sweating, jump shotting, drop shotting, and just killing you with PPSHs and everything. It takes a lot. And not only that, you have to deal with how broken the game is with the bugs and glitches, and it's a lot to deal with. But if you grind this game out, you're a trooper, and that shows how much of a Call of Duty fan you are. So now, let's get into it. Master Prestige rewards. We've seen Sledgehammer do something similar like this in Advanced Warfare, where those who grind the game out, and I think every Grandmaster Prestige they get to, or whatever they get, epic weapon or legendary weapon, royalty weapon, elite weapon, or something like that, whatever they call them, heroic weapons in the game, you get that. So with that being said, we haven't seen anything like that in Call of Duty World War II. We haven't seen it. I don't know if Sledgehammer is gonna bring it, but we'll just find that out on the community update, which is later on today. I hope that they mention Master Prestige rewards. I hope that you get a heroic token or something each time you hit level 100 if you're a Master Prestige. I really hope that you get a heroic token, or at least a heroic supply drop that guarantees you no dupes and you get a new heroic weapon every time you hit level 100. It has to be something similar like that, because I feel like 300 armor credits is not enough for Prestige Masters who grind this game out continuously every single day, and they're just busting through levels and they're not getting anything. Like, I played this game from day one, and I'm still playing this game halfway through its life cycle. I only have a few heroic weapons. I have, the Snake 2, I have a heroic MP40 variant. I'm not going to name all the hero weapons, but I only have a few, and I feel like that's not enough if you're a Prestige Master. But that's just me. Now, along with them Prestige Master rewards, I want to take the time out and thank Sledgehammer, because they have been updating the game. The game is certainly not like it was when they first released. They changed the divisions of how they work, and everything seems to flow a lot smoother. But there's still the bugs and glitches that still hunts this game that we've been complaining about ever since day one. Like the LMGs, for example. They have too much penetration power. When you shoot an LMG in this game, not only does it penetrate the one wall, you can clearly see the bullet tracing penetrating through the wall across the map. So if you're standing in on one side of the map and you shoot an LMG, you can see the bullet trace go from that wall all the way probably to the other side of the map, and you would take damage from it. You really would. And I feel like they don't know that, or either they intentionally did that to add the realism into the game, because you know what Michael Condren's favorite word was back when this game was announced and when it was at the reveal or whatever. They wanted to make everything visceral. They wanted to make you feel like you were in a World War II setting the best way they possibly could. But at the end of the day, it comes back down to weapon balancing. I know weapon balancing with Call of Duty has been off and on for the recent, like, every year weapon balancing changes, either for the good or for the worse. I know that Call of Duty Black Ops 3 had the best weapon balancing on next generation consoles. Infinite Warfare, they did good with weapon balancing. Sorry about that, fellas, but they did good with weapon balancing. I just felt like the game was dominated by K-Bar and NV4s every day, all day. That's the only guns that players actually use, because not only were they the easiest guns, but they were the most balanced guns. Not saying that the rest of the guns weren't balanced, but they were known, and they were just likable, I guess. So, with that being said, in Call of Duty World War II, there are a variety of weapons you can use. I'm not gonna say that because the game is broken, but there are a variety of weapons you can use. You have your PPSH, you have your buffed up Type 100, which melts, by the way, now since they buffed it. You have the WWII You have the LMGs, which is the Lewis, the MG15. You rarely see anybody uses the brand. The assault rifles, the FG42 that received nerfed and buffed throughout this entire life cycle of Call of Duty World War II. Many players don't run with that. You got your STG-44, which is fairly balanced. You got your you got your Volksturm Gewehr, which I like to call it Brokesturm Gewehr because the gun is broken. Even after the nerf, the gun is still broken. Okay, and I say that because it literally has no recoil. You can control that gun at ease. At ease, you can control the gun, and I feel like that's too easy. I know back in Modern Warfare 3 we had the ACR, which was literally a melt machine. And I know they probably tried to recreate that in Call of Duty World War II, but it didn't work. It didn't work. But overall, Sledgehammer has did a pretty good job balancing weapons. I'm surprised because back in AW, only guns people used was the BAL and AS1. You have a few people using the mini pocket SMG, the little Mac 11 remake, I guess. You have many people a little amount of people using that. So as far as weapon balancing, Sledgehammer has did a great job with that. Now, map design layout. Now, this has been a complaint ever since the beta. A lot of people worried about how the maps will play out. And now, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything because I don't do that, you know. If you guys know me, you know I keep it 100. The maps in this game are by far the worst maps that we've ever seen in the Call of Duty history. I'm just being 100. Out of all the Call of Duty games, this game has by far the worst maps. And I think that's one of the reasons why the game is not liked by many people. That's one of the reasons why the game failed. Not saying they failed in sales, but it failed the expectations of many fans. And I say that because these maps are too small. Sledgehammer designed these maps strictly for longer line of sights for sniper rifles and the edges of the map. And in the center of the map, you have those who like to run around with the SMGs and run a gun. And on the sides and some of the center, you got your assault rifles for medium and long range. But it's something about, like I say, the maps are too small. I can't put my finger on it because SMGs can still map you halfway across the map. And see, when you can do that, it's a problem. It's a problem. And okay, I know I said they did a pretty good job weapon balancing, but let's look at this one particular weapon. They nerfed it. And I still believe that it's too strong. The combat shotgun with the incendiary shells. They have to do something with that. The incendiary shells in this game, I feel like if you shoot somebody with a incendiary shell, and if they're at a great distance, they shouldn't die. I feel like if you're shooting a person who has incendiary shells, and you kill them, and they still shoot you with the shells on, I feel like you still shouldn't die. You should get rewarded for killing a person up close, even though he shot you with the incendiary shells. It's not making them useless, but it's creating more of a balance of the game because it seems like you die by bullshit with them incendiary shells. I'm just gonna keep it 100. You could be on a streak and let's say somebody comes up to you, they can be, let's say, like, they can be a great range from you and they shoot you with a incendiary shell and you would die if you're not running armor. And I know that's a sacrifice that once brings it back to the risk, and that once brings you back to the limitations of the game. That's what it brings you back to, and that's not good. That's not good. They need to retune the incendiary shells because think about it, fellas. This is going to be the last World War II Call of Duty we get for a very, very long time. And let's say, for example, Black Ops 4 do fail. People are going to go back and play World War II. And if Sledgehammer can somehow keep the game updated and fix some of the bugs and finish what they started, this could be one of the best Call of Duties that we ever had on next generation consoles. Now, I'm not saying Black Ops 4 is going to be bad. I hope it don't be bad because, yeah, that'd be another $100 going to waste right there on a game that I don't like. So, with that being said, prestige rewards need to come to this game because they add more replayability to it. Because right now, I'm a prestige master. I'm getting real bored of playing the game because I'm not getting rewarded for anything. At least if you're a prestige master, at least get a supply drop after every game or after every 10 games you play. Get a rare supply drop or something. Give us something so we can keep playing the game. Because it's dry. The player count for this game is low because many people don't agree with, you know, the stuff that Sledgehammer put in the game, and I understand that, but you gotta understand something. This is Sledgehammer's second standalone Call of Duty. They worked on Modern Warfare 3 with Infinity Ward, but they didn't make that game alone. This is the second game that they made alone, and I feel like we gotta give them a chance. I was kind of hard on this game when it first came out, and you know, I know that they didn't finish this game. I know that because if you guys don't know this, if you guys didn't know, back when this game was announced, people were already talking about, I don't know how I feel about this, a multiplayer gameplay trailer. It was just too good to be true, and people they couldn't accept that this was a World War II Call of Duty created by Sledgehammer. They couldn't accept it, and I understand because Sledgehammer wasn't originally working on World War II. They was working on Advanced Warfare 2, but then you had Activision step in and say, look, scrap the project. We're gonna go back to the roots, boots on the ground. We want to go back to World War II setting. And at that time, they were halfway through with Advanced Warfare, so they had to scrap all the work that they did to create World War II. And that's why it feels like there is no innovation to this game. That's why it feels like they feel like it's a bunch of reused CoD files over the years with a little bit of new stuff added to it. But hopefully Sledgehammer gets everything right. Hopefully they keep updating this game and they give us some update on Master Prestige rewards. It's been your boy with Vibes. Peace out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more content.
Quite surprised, just when you look into